Welcome back, Mr. SteelCity Scott. How you doing,
Oh,
sir?
it feels good to be back. I'd just like to point out to everyone, last week was one of those weeks in the NFL that made no sense, but no one has a badge. No one has a badge, and that means Drinkwine has still not had the badge. I'm the only one that's had the badge. I just want to point this out to everyone
You
before
had
we
it
get
after
started.
week one, and you were up by one.
No, I
Come on.
said you haven't had the
Hey,
badge.
all right.
I've had the badge.
That that ends this week. That ends this week because we have only 4 games that we agree on. So there's going to be some movement for sure.
Buckle up, baby. There's going to be movement.
Buckle up, he says. All right, well, let's get to it. Toss up the recap. We'll throw it down. First game, Scott. Lead us off, sir.
All right, the first game, we're going to be talking about the Bills here, ladies and gentlemen. And here are my thoughts on the Bills. They're a gritty team. They're figuring out ways to win right now. They came back against the Cardinals in week one, basically shut out Miami in week two, which I understand. They had some catastrophic injuries to Miami's team. I get it. I understand. But their defense stood tall. Bills Mafia is going to be rocking up there in Buffalo. It's a huge AFC game for the playoffs. If the Jags end up making it, it could have, wild card seeding potentials later in the season. It's a big game early in the season that will have implications later. Etienne's got 2 touchdowns on the season. He's running the ball well. The Jags have given up 81 yards. They give up 81 yards to Miami and 125 yards to Cleveland. So I'm going to focus on the rushing attack here and say that the Bills are going to have the upper hand on the ground because the Jags are giving up a lot of yards. I like Josh Allen to have a decent amount of yards this week. I like his prop bet for rushing this week. Give me the Bills -5. The spread doesn't make any sense to me. This is another game that doesn't make any sense to me. We'll talk about a lot of the games here making no sense spread-wise. I like the Bills -5 at home. Believe in the Mafia. There's going to be lots of broken tables.
So before I start my analysis, I just want to say I couldn't help but laugh a little bit because you look like you should be in a Scandinavian telecenter right now. Like there's
Yep.
8 feet of snow behind that wall, right behind you, and there's just not sun outside. It's just always dark. That's what it looks like. Just the whole vibe that I'm getting right now.
Coming from you live from Anchorage, Alaska. That's where I'm located, ladies and gentlemen. It's a little colder here. Don't hate on the hat. You're jealous.
I am jealous, actually. If I had one, I'd wear it. So as far as this game goes, I'm with you. I think that that's a good side to be on. The Jaguars suck. However, I'm going to take the under in this game.
Mm.
I don't have a whole lot of faith in Joth Allen on
Mr. Joth Allen.
in primetime games. So I'm going to fade him a little bit. Trevor Lawrence, I absolutely 100% do not have faith in primetime games, in 1 o'clock games, in 2 o'clock games, in 3 o'clock games. If any clock game of the day, just don't take Trevor Lawrence. So I'm taking the under in this one, 45.5.
Man, we say, Evelyn, we see you in the chat. Mr. Butts with the glizzy. Gator Dave's on the Bills. Navowski, who ended up betting the better bird. Okay, that's fine. No one
We
needs to
both
know.
lost that one. It was bad.
Yeah, but technically your bird was better. I thought it was Eagles all the way.
I had Eagles too.
Oh, I thought you had the Falcons.
Mm-mm.
Oh, well, we,
All right,
we both lost.
moving
No one
on.
bet the
Moving
better
on.
bird.
I know it was unfortunate. All right, so we got Panthers taking on the Raiders, making the trip out to Vegas.
Mm.
There is no analysis for this game, okay? There is no
Right.
analysis needed. It is the Carolina Panthers. No, I don't care if Carolina is playing a sixth grade freshman. Put anybody on the field. Put paraplegics out there, and I'm guaranteeing they're finding some fucking success against the Carolina Panthers. All right? It's Raiders. It's Raiders all day. Raiders, 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 Raiders. Raiders -5. Do not overthink it. I overthought it last week. I was like, oh no, there's something sketchy about that line. Like, why is the line what it is? It's the Chargers. It makes no sense. And sure enough, the Chargers blew them out. I didn't take the Panthers, thank God. But I'm learning. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not even gonna second guess it. Raiders. Who you got?
First off, shout out to Rachel. Rachel's here too. Sorry, Rachel, we didn't see you. Shout out to
Hey
Rachel.
Rachel.
Look, we have no ill will or no offense to paraplegics, but you are correct. Panthers are.
I think against the Carolina Panthers, they would do a great job.
I think that's the best option for the state of Carolina. I mean, okay, first off, they're benching Bryce Young. They're benching Bryce Young. They gave up. I mean, the Bears got like 6 picks, and Carolina's going to bench the person they traded for. The Panthers might not even be a football team. It might be worth just giving all their players away to the other 31 teams, and then maybe we start with a team in like Iowa and do like a draft thing and just get rid of the Panthers.
No, you're talking. No. Iowa,
look, you could pick a different. You can pick a different city. I just Iowa just sticks out to me. I like the colors that they usually go with there.
Put them somewhere different. Like, let's go to Iceland. Let's get the Iceland.
Hey, bring them to me in Alaska. Why not?
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, the polar bears.
I love it.
All right, so I'm with you. The Panthers gave up 47 and 26. They're giving up 36.5 points a game. The Raiders put up 26 against a pretty good defense in Baltimore, which is a little shocking. Devontae Adams is Devontae Adams. Bowers is turning out to look like a stud. He's looking like the Bowers from UGA. He looks very good. He's going to be a weapon. So here – I'm opposite of you. This is the one I'm overthinking, and for some reason I just weird. Like, they're sitting their quarterback, the Panthers. Something strange might happen. So I'm going to take the safe bet here, and that is the over at 39.5. Makes no sense. The Raiders should put up 35, and then if we can get like an extra field goal or two out of the Panthers, we're there. Give me the over. That's what I like this week.
Andy Dalton, following Andy Dalton. I mean, it's better than Bryce, though, I guess. I don't know. Supposedly they're talking about trading him. I think that's wild.
Who's going to trade for him?
Well, it's like your entire offensive line sucks. So let's go get a quarterback. That'll change things. No, absolutely not. It doesn't do anything for you. All right, next game. We got Denver making the trip to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. This one, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's gross. There's something about it that just screams backdoor cover for the Broncos. I am gonna stick to my guns and what I originally went with, which is the Bucs to cover the 6.5. But I do not like it. I do not like it one bit, Sam. I am. Again, it just screams backdoor cover. This game should be a little closer to 10, in my opinion, and it's only gone down closer to 6, 5. There's something not right with it. There's money coming on the Broncos. Somebody knows something that we do not. It is scary, but I am going to stick with the Bucs. Scott, what say you, sir?
Well, first we have to address.
I see you, Rachel. I see you in the chat.
We got to address Mr. Butts' question here. There's no badge because we're tied right now, 10 and 13-1 and 10 and 13-1. That's why there's not a badge.
He lost it because he sucks.
No. I technically didn't give it to you. It's just waiting for me in week 3. We're just taking a break for the moment.
He lost it because he sucks.
All right, fair. But have you had it yet? Oh, no, you haven't? Okay, perfect. So what I'm thinking for the Bucs is last week we had a shocker against the Kneecaps, in my opinion. The Fighting Kneecaps butts home. The Fighting Kneecaps. Baker has come to play. The extension is valid through week 2. The offense is clicking. Here's what I'm going to say. Based on last week, the Bucs have a more effective and efficient offense right now through week 2 than the Pittsburgh Steelers did against Denver. So for me, Baker's got 5 touchdowns. They're averaging 29 points a game, and their defense isn't horrible. Defensively on the Broncos side, they should be better than they are. They let Pittsburgh beat them and score a touchdown, first touchdown of the season, I might add, which is kind of embarrassing because our offense isn't very productive. Thank you for the applause there. So you're crazy. Uh, there will be no backdoor cover. I don't know why it was -7. It went down to -6.5. Someone
It's
knows something.
sketchy.
Maybe God's making an appearance at this game for the Broncos. I don't know. Bo Nix isn't horrible, but he's not there
It's
yet.
getting
The Broncos
sketchy.
aren't there yet. I'm gonna stick with the Bucks. I'm gonna stick with the hot hand. Give me Baker. Give me the Bucks. -6.5. Sorry, Rachel. We're going with the Bucks.
All right, I like it. That's the first one we're in agreement on. There we go. Moving
I
on
wish we
here,
could
we
both
got
lose.
yeah. I hear you. I hear you. I'm not mad at that either. Eagles taking on the Saints. This line has completely flip flopped. It was the Eagles favored by 2.5. Now it's the Saints 2.5. That's a pretty big swing in the
Mm.
NFL. That means there's a lot of money coming in towards the Saints side. I'm following the money here, Scott. I was on the Saints with the +2.5. I'm gonna ride them with the -2.5 as well. So give me the Saints at home. Their offense under Clint Kubiak looks completely different, completely revamped. They actually look like they can move the ball. I mean, they have. What did Carr do? He scored on like 9 straight drives or something like that to start the year. I mean, that's insane. Kamara's playing out of his mind right now. Defense is playing solid.
Mm.
Marshawn Lattimore's had some issues with his hamstring, so if he can get that right, they're only going to get better. Give me the Saints at home to get it done against the Eagles, who are struggling. It's a big deal. Apparently, Jalen Hurts is having a disconnect with Sirianni. He's got the new center we talked about last week. That connection still isn't quite there. He's struggling throwing the football. Defense hasn't looked great for the Eagles. So yeah, give me the more consistent team right now with the Saints. Scott, who you got?
Ooh, the city of brotherly love is on edge yet again this week. They blow it last week in Monday Night Football against the Falcons, and this week I'm with you. It I so I made a bet earlier in the week, people, and I got the Saints at +2.5 in a couple parlays just because I was bored one morning. I'll take it. Now it's -2.5. I still love it at -2.5. Right now, to me, the Saints look like the Week 2 Super Bowl favorites. I mean, it's early in the season. They're averaging 45 points a game. Yes, one of the games was against the poo-poo Panthers. That shouldn't be a team in the NFL anymore. But the other was against a pretty stout Cowboys defense on the road, which I'd like to point out. Our friend here, Miami Mike, thought the Cowboys were going to take that one, but I told you they were going to choke because that's all they do.
They
Uh,
did, and they
look,
did.
Philly's coming off a tough loss. They've got a short week with Monday Night Football. They're struggling against decent defenses. To your point, they've got some disconnect between the head coach, their offense. If you have a good defense and an offense that can continue to score and move the ball, which right now the Saints do, I think that you can put the Eagles to bed. So give me the Saints 2.5.
Like it. All right, we got the Texans making the trip to Minnesota. You want to start with this one?
Yes. So this is a battle of 2-0s here, and one of them is my NFC shocker team that makes no sense, and the Vikings. The Texans, they're finding a way to win right now, but they're not running on all cylinders. They're not the Texans that we saw at the end of the season last year, so they still have a lot of upside to them. The Vikings handling the 49ers, who on paper, those two teams aren't even on the same planet, makes no sense to me. Justin Jefferson, he hurt his quad, but he is limited in practice today, people. He might play, but it's quad on a skill player. One good hit, one incorrect plant, and he could be out for the game. So he's fragile going into this one. To me, I'm gonna say it now, and people aren't gonna like it, but the Vikings are frauds. They are my week 2 frauds. They are not a good team. They're fraudulent. Give me the team that should be good. The team of Texas, which is no longer the Cowboys. The team of Texas is the Houston Texans. Give me the Texans -2. I like their offense to come alive, baby.
Wrong. So here's the thing, Scott. Here's the thing. First off, the Vikings are a completely different team at home than they are on the road. That's just facts. As are most teams, right? What I've done the last 2 weeks is go against the Vikings, and I'm not doing it again, Scott. I'm not doing it again. I am not going to get beat by Sam Darnold. If I am going to get beat by Sam Darnold, I'm going to be with Sam Darnold. All right? So I'm officially a believer in the Darnold rebirth. It's happening. It's happening, people. Get your tinfoil hats. The Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold are Super Bowl contenders this year, okay? Put them on.
God.
Put them on.
Oh my God. Someone clip this.
You got Brian Flores with a lockdown defense right now out there. Kevin O'Connell, the QB whisperer.
Someone's spoken a little bit too much.
It's magic happening in Minneapolis right now, all right? That beautiful stadium, they deserve it. If anybody's slowing down the Texans, it's Brian Flores. He's got a good track record against QBs within their first 2 years. I think he's able to slow them down in this one. Give me the Vikings. Again, another game, too. This spread does not make sense.
You're out of your mind.
Why are the Texans, if they're so good, why are they only -2? All right?
You're out of your mind.
Something
out of
to
your
think
mind.
about, folks. It's just something to think about.
The fact that you just said the Vikings are Super Bowl contenders, I will hold that against you when they end up winning 7 games this year.
Hey, I don't make the rules. All right? I'm telling you the storyline.
We might have to put a little friendly wager on this one.
We don't need to. Moving on. We're going to your game, so you're taking it over.
So you talked about teams playing different on the road and at home. Let me tell you something. My boys are 2-0, baby. 2 big road wins to start out the season. 1 touchdown scored. Yes, I know. I will be unbiased here. This is going to be a big test for us. I'm scared of Harbaugh. He's a football guy, and Herbie can sling it if he plays. J.K. Dobbins is leading the league in rushing, but I like our defense. They got playmakers all over their defensive side, but let me tell you something, baby. It's the home opener. The towels are going to be everywhere. It's Steel City. Fields is playing okay, and the defense is coming alive. Plus, hear me out. I think we might see our first glimpse of Roman Wilson in the NFL. You smell that? 3-0, baby. 3-0 start for the good guys. I like the Steelers by a field goal. Boswell's foot is going to lead us to victory. Give me the Steelers -1.5 at home, and Boswell's foot leading us to victory.
Yeah. So I don't know what you were smelling, Scott, but on this side, it stinks over there in Pittsburgh. Okay, I'm smelling some nice Los Angeles street tacos. Okay,
It smells.
I'm smelling sunscreen and ego and money. That's what I smell right now. It's coming over to the East Coast, and it's gonna dominate over there. Hey, look, whether Herbert plays or not, here's my key. Here's my key to this game. The Chargers have 2 other quarterbacks in reserve. Their backup is Easton Stick. He's not the answer. Their
Agreed.
reserve guy, who they're going to put onto the team if Herbert doesn't go, is none other than Taylor Heineke. Taylor Heineke is going to have those boys ready to go. Taylor Heineke's going to put his head down. He's going to truck through. He might as well be playing rugby, okay? Taylor Heineke is that guy. And when Taylor Heineke wins, you know what he does, Scott? You know what his tradition is?
He ain't getting any black and gold shoes.
He's going to get some new black and gold shoes. So I think that's what's going to happen
crazy.
here. However, I'm going to take the under in this game. I'm going under 35.5. I think no matter what, it's a defensive game. Chargers got a great defense. Steelers got a great defense. Both of their offenses are trash right now, no matter who's at quarterback for both teams. I'm going the under 35.5. It is super low, and it's super sketchy, but I think this is like a 17-13 type of game. It's going to be ugly.
Yeah, whatever quarterback plays this game for the Chargers are going to spend the majority of the time on their back. I got TJ Watt. TJ Watt getting at least 2 sacks this game. I think they're going to be scrambling the entire game. I think our defense is going to be the reason we win it. But I like your under pick because I don't see either team scoring over 17 points.
Yep. All right, moving on. We got a good one here. Baltimore, and really what is a must-win game because they're 0-2 right now.
And they're playing who?
The Dallas Cowboys.
Oh, the Choke Boys. Okay.
The Choke Boys. Yeah, that game was ugly. I don't. You're right. I picked it wrong. I know you love to tell me that. Yes, I picked it wrong. But here's some stats for you about this one, Scott. Forget last week. That's old news. Okay. Ravens are 5-1 all time. All right, versus the Cowboys, but just 1-1 when playing in Dallas. So if they were playing in Baltimore, it's Ravens all the way. But in Dallas, little more even. But this is, I just mentioned, it's a must-win game for the Ravens, sitting at 0-2. They have the best.
A little more even. 1-1 couldn't be more even.
It is. It's a little more even. That's a fact, dude. Don't fact check my facts with facts. All right. Anyway, Ravens have the best rush defense in the league right now, but they have the worst passing defense. But despite being 0-2, they have the best offense. They're number 1 in the league in total offense. It's definitely run first, pass second. Derrick Henry has been slow to say the least. He is on my fantasy team, and he's done nothing for me. He was my first pick, and it's been a mistake so far. But we're hoping that tide turns a little bit. Before last week's loss to the Saints, the Cowboys had won 16 games in a row in Dallas when playing at home. I think that streak waits another week. I'm going with the Ravens. Lamar is locked down, shut down. Put him in the dirt against NFC teams. He owns NFC teams. He's going to continue to do that here. I think -1 is an absolute gift. Give it to me all day long. Ravens, Ravens, Ravens. Scott, what do you got?
Well, first off, no, Rachel, we're not addressing your last 2 comments. We're moving on to the Cowboys game. So, look, I'm glad you, at the end there, went Ravens because you were talking about how Dak Prescott was going to come in and pass on the Ravens. Dak Prescott's current QBR is 38. 38. Just remember that number, 38. Look, nothing brings me more joy in this world than the Ravens being 0-2, besides maybe the Browns and Cincinnati both being 0-2. So that brings me a lot of joy to see the Ravens at 0-2 as a Steelers fan. I love to watch them struggle. Look, the Chiefs I get because the refs are always pulling for them, but losing to the Raiders was a tough loss for them, which, again, love to see. They struggled all game for their offensive production, which was interesting to me because they have good weapons. Besides Lamar, it just looks like it's just him out in the field. But I like them to bounce back again against the Cowboys here. They're in Jerry World for round 2. The Cowgirls, the Choke Jobs, the Choke Boys. Look, everyone gets all hype on the Cowboys, and this is what they do. When they play good teams or bad teams, they choke. They can't play up to the talent they're playing against. I like Lamar. The Lamar and Parsons matchup is going to be amazing because they're 2 amazing players. They're going to be going at it all night. I can't wait to watch that. It's going to be a good game from that standpoint. But other than that, I think the Ravens, from start to finish, this is going to be Ravens. And it's, dare I say, not going to be close. I just do not believe in the Cowboys. They don't have anything going for them. I don't know what's happening. McCarthy, he's probably going to be gone soon. Jerry's sitting up in his booth every game, just drinking his water, looking out at what he's built. Like, what is going on? My team is horrible.
That man is drinking gin up there.
Which also love to see the Cowboys.
Water.
Give the Ravens money line.
Uh-oh. Scott, are you there?
What happened?
Are you back?
What happened? I think the Cowboys just infiltrated my live stream.
We're back. Yeah, Jerry didn't like that, dude. Jerry didn't like that at
Jerry did
all.
not
All
like
right.
that.
We're sorry,
Yeah, down with the
Jerry. We're gonna
Cowboys.
get through it. We only got 5 left,
All right.
Jerry. Let's
Sorry,
get
Jerry.
through the show. All right. We got Packers taking on the Titans. I'm gonna keep mine short and sweet here. I'm on the under. Both of these teams are trash. Both offenses are trash. Both defenses are relatively good. If the Packers want to win this one, defense has to step up in a big way. It's a revenge game for Malik Willis, the quarterback stepping in for Jordan Love. He's going back to Tennessee, who dropped him like a sad sack of potatoes for their current quarterback, Will Levis, who has shown signs of promise, but has also sucked. He hasn't done well at all. The running game hasn't been able to get going, really. They got Tony Pollard. He's doing what he can, but not too much. DeAndre Hopkins is dealing with a lingering issue. Like, I think it's an MCL that he's not getting surgery on. He's just going to try to play through it for the rest of the year. And he's not the same. He's not really, out there as a threat too much other than maybe some jump balls. But he's not cutting like he can, not going out. Then they got Calvin Ridley. It's just not a good situation for Tennessee. Packers, Josh Jacobs is running like a madman right now. So I think that's what this game is going to be. It's going to be about possession. It's going to be about controlling the clock. I think it's going to be low scoring. So give me the under here just because I have no idea what team to trust. I would lean the Packers if I needed to, but I'm not going to. I'm taking the under. Scott, what do you got?
Safe pick there. This is the turd of the week. It's gross. I'm sick to my stomach even saying something like this out loud. I'm going to go with the Titans money line. And I'm not going to say too much about this game other than, is Will Levis going to do the same dumb gymnastic pick turnover he's done the last 2 games? He can't do it 3 games in a row. There's no way he can top that 3 games in a row. So I'm just going to go with the odds and statistics and say that he might not have a turnover this game. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's happening in Green Bay. I don't know what's happening in Green Bay with no love. I don't know. Look, hey, my boy Jack, sorry, don't believe in the Packers anymore. Give me the Titans money line.
Yeah. I will say Matt LaFleur is one of the better head coaches as one, an underdog, and 2, in the month of September. He is one of the better coaches spread-wise. Something to think about. But that's an uphill battle. So play at your own will. Next, we got Bears making the trip to Indianapolis. The Bears, so you wanted to talk about fraudulent, all right? When you were talking about the Vikings, the Bears are exactly what that is, okay? They have barely skated by. Somehow they've been able to get win. It doesn't make any sense. Last week, they got the cover against the Texans, and they were able to keep it close. That was really, it was more so just the Texans not playing up to their standard. Same thing with Bears beating the Titans at the beginning. Titans were up 17-0, end up basically just handing that game to Chicago. The Colts offense is terrible on the flip side. This is an ugly, ugly game. Anthony Richardson, he's had a ton of turnovers. It seems like he's got some injury problems that they're not really being fully transparent about, just the way that he's kind of playing and moving his body language, that kind of thing. Jonathan Taylor, he eclipsed the 100-yard mark last week for the first time. Week 1, he wasn't able to do it, so at least that's a positive sign. Caleb Williams for the Bears, quarterback, he's been sacked 9 times through 2 games. Granted, 7 of those came against the Texans last week, but that's not good. He's got 2 interceptions. He's got a total of just under 270 passing yards on the season right now. I think this one's the Colts at home. I think their defense is going to be able to do enough to slow down this abysmal Bears offense as it is. So I think it's a low-scoring game. I think the Colts get it done. However, I'm taking the under in this one. I'm going 43.5 because I do not have faith in the Colts offense as well. I think Anthony Richardson is going to have a couple turnovers. I worry about Jonathan Taylor running on the Chicago defense. They do have a good defense. So I'm going to take the under here. I think it's going to be ugly. I think it's going to be close. But I don't really trust either side in this one. So I'm going on the total here. Scott, who you got?
First I'd like to start with a simple question. What are the Bears frauds of? You have to be something to be a fraud of it, and no one is saying they're a good team.
Potential.
No one is saying that. Their offense is
Now,
non-existent.
there are people calling for the Bears to win their division right now this year.
Those
Okay?
people,
because of Jordan Love going down and the Lions struggling.
no. If you
I'm telling
think
you,
the Lions are
there are
going to lose
people out
that
there.
division to the Bears,
Don't shoot the
whoever
messenger.
those
Don't
people,
shoot the messenger.
whoever those people are, they need to go paint their nails, and they need to just focus on that because they don't know what they're talking about. And this leads me into my next comment.
Whoa.
Maybe Caleb Williams will focus on film this week instead of his nail color for the game. Look, their offense is non-existent. You just went over the stats. They're not good at all.
Connection's getting you, dude. That's instant karma. Instant karma. Look at that. Jerry Jones, he didn't like that comment either, dude. He came back for you.
In Indy, the Colts. This is just.
That's what happens, dude. That's what happens when you're talking shit. Jerry's coming for you. You offended him.
Okay, Jerry is in my system right now. Should I take the Steelers hat off? Is that what's happening? Is he upset because I have my Steelers hat on? So anyways, the Colts are struggling. The Bears are struggling. Buckner is on IR. And for that reason,
that's big.
The Bears plus 1.5, baby.
That is big. Buckner
but it will be ugly.
To that team. All right, 3 games left, including this one. We got Lions taking on the Cardinals. Shout out to our guy Matt in the chat. This is his squad, the Lions.
Matt in the chat.
Matt in the chat. Who do you like here, Scotty?
Well, I'll keep it simple. The kneecaps are coming back. Arizona can put up points. Harrison Jr. made his presence known last week. 4 receptions, 100+ yards, and 2 touchdowns before halftime. But I like Goff. I like Amon-Ra. I like Gibbs. They're going to come to play. The kneecaps are going to be ready. I like Detroit to win this one by 10+. I think Arizona is not the team that we saw last week. I think Hutchinson is going to paint half of his face black. He might have another 4-sack game, which is what he had last week. So give me the fighting kneecaps. Give me the Dan Campbells. Shout out to Butts. Give me the Lions. -3.
Yeah. I mean, I could see. I don't know. 10 points is a lot. I'm actually on the under here, under 53.5. So there's been a couple totals this year that have hit the 50 mark, and they have not gone over in any of them. So I'm riding that same trend. I'm going to take the under in this. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think you're right. I think they're able to contain Kyler Murray a little bit better. And I think the Cardinals defense, the Lions offense has just struggled. Jared Goff does not look good right now. Amon-Ra, he's dealing with cramps, so that's not really usual of him. So something's going on there. I think it's going to take a couple weeks, it seems like, for them to really get going and be the team that they were last year. Maybe they start it this week, but I don't think they do. I think it's going to be low scoring in this one. I think you're right. I think the Lions are probably the play. They need this one in a bad way. But I'm going to take the under 53.5. I think I just want to clarify. I think Navosky was talking about you in that chat right there.
Yeah, nice hair, bad internet. That's definitely me. He's also commenting on these puppies right here. Look, I'm not shaving this guy till the end of the season. He stays. And he
you just leaned back like you were about to show something else, dude. I was like, hold on, this is a kid-friendly TV show here. What are we doing? Let's keep it PG, brother.
PG. Maybe Gator Dave will grow one. We'll see.
I think Gator Dave would look great with a mustache, dude. We should probably push that. All right, moving on here. We got 2 games left. We're going Chiefs at the Falcons. Chiefs are the favorite, -3.5. That has come down a little bit. I think it was like -5, -5.5 to open. So there has been some money here on the Falcons. Obviously, it's probably since the Falcons covered that game, won that game last week against the Eagles. People are all hype on Kirk Cousins now. He's finally back. He's got it. No, it was one drive. It was one drive. It was 2 minutes. Yes, it probably helped his confidence. Unfortunately, they're going against the Chiefs this week, and the NFL loves the Chiefs. I don't know if anybody saw. I don't know. I saw a stat. It was like 18 interceptions that Mahomes has thrown that has been overturned by a flag after the fact since like 2018. That's absurd. It's the most in the NFL. It's ridiculous. Do I think that was a flag in that game? No, not really. I think it was a bang bang play. Like I think the Chiefs got bailed out. They won the game. On the flip side, Falcons, they did look good in that last drive, but literally that entire game before that, they still looked like buns. I think they need to get Bijan more involved in the game. Kyle Pitts needs to be more involved in the game. He was a little bit involved. They have the weapons. Drake London looked really good on the outside. Darnell Mooney looked really good on that last drive. They have a great defense. The Falcons, we talked about it earlier in the year. We both are pretty high on them moving forward in this season. They got a relatively good schedule the way that it lines up for them to be able to do something, maybe win their division. But in this one right here, I just think unfortunately they're playing the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to come. They're going to catch them slipping. It's just the Chiefs. So I am on the Chiefs -3.5 in this one. Scott, what say you?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think this is going to be a competitive game. I do think it will be competitive. I like the Chiefs -3.5. I'm in the same boat as you. It shouldn't be a doubt from the Chiefs, but the Falcons are a little sneaky with that big win this week. They kind of showed what they can do in that last drive, which was pretty big. But I do think it was a little fluky. I don't think they're fully there yet to trust completely. I do think they'll get there. They have a pretty soft schedule. It's in their favor. I hope the Falcons, prove me wrong. But for this week, I'm going to go with the refs, the Chiefs -3.5. And hoping Kelsey is a little bit more productive this week. Pacheco being out, he's on the IR. That's a big hit for the Chiefs, but they have enough weapons. They have enough around the core of their team, great offensive line that they can still make it work. But I will say the refs. I'm trying to think of the most PG thing I can say here. The refs favor the Chiefs. Let's just say that quite a bit. It's clear that they're pulling for Patrick Mahomes. It's clear they're pulling for the Chiefs. It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
Hear. But also, so Navosky said, in the chat, Kirk can't move. Big point. I mean, he's gonna have to deal with Chris Jones too on the inside, on the outside. They're gonna put some pressure on Kirk, so he's gonna definitely feel it also. So that's a good point. All right, last game we're talking is Monday Night Football. It's the other Monday night game. We started with a Monday night game. We're ending with a Monday night game. We got two this week. So we got the Commanders making the trip to Cincy and the Bengals. Bengals starting 0-2 for it's like the third or fourth time in a row now. It's kind of what they do. However, they got to get right. They got to get right in this one. It's a good opportunity against the Commanders team that, they are riding a little bit high off of a division win last week against the Giants at home, but they didn't look good doing it. I think the Bengals looked much better against the Chiefs last week. They looked like they were finally getting some synchronicity in the offense. Defense looked better. I think they get something done here. I think they're able to win by probably 10 points at least in this one, maybe like 31-20. So give me the Bengals to get the cover at home minus the 7.5. Scott, what say you?
I am with you. I do think the Bengals are going to win this one. To your point, the Bengals have not lost a game 3 since 2020, where they tied Philly, and during that time frame, they've also lost their first 2 games every year. It's a very interesting trend they have going on. In both of those, 3 years worth of victories in game 3, Joe Burrow was throwing for just over 250 yards in each of those games. So he's productive. He's good in prime time. I think he likes prime time. That's where he thrives. The Manders are averaging 29 points, giving up 29 points, and Cincinnati's came alive last week a little bit towards the end there against the Chiefs. So for me, I'm too scared to trust a team here. Give me the over at 47.5. I don't trust either team yet. I do think Cincinnati is going to win this game, but I like a lot of points on the board.
All right. I like it. I like it. I like another head-to-head. All right, so we're throwing up the recap here. Only 4 that we are on, so definite potential for a lot
Big
of
week.
movement.
Big week for the
Somebody's
badge.
getting that medal. Somebody's getting that medal. So first game, I'm on the under in the Bills Jaguars. You are taking the Bills. Next game, I'm on the Raiders. You are on the over in that Panthers Raiders game. We're both on the Bucks. We're against the Broncos. We're both on the Saints against the Eagles. I'm on the Vikings. You're on the Texans. We got a true head-to-head there. I am on the under in the Chargers Steelers game. You are on the Steelers. We're both on the Ravens against the Cowboys. I'm on the under in the Titans Packers. You like the Titans. I'm on the under in the Colts Bears. You like the Bears. And I'm on the under in the Lions Cardinals. And you
Bears.
like the Lions. We're both on the Chiefs against the Falcons. I got the Bengals to cover against the Commanders. And you got the over in that game. Anything you would like to add, my good sir?
I would just like to tell the people, pay attention to what Miami Mike is doing here. He's scared of the spreads this week. He's scared. Scared money don't make money. And that's why I will have the badge sitting in one of these 2 areas next week. I can't remember what side it's on. It's going to be sitting there because Miami's scared to take the points. Not me.
Terrible.
Not me. Give me the
These
spreads. I'm
offenses
ready
have
for them.
sucked. Historically bad offenses and quarterback play through the first 2 games. Historically bad. It's going to continue, folks. It's going to be ugly. It's going to hide your kids. Hide your wives. It's nasty out here. All right. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us out. We appreciate you watching. Please come back next Wednesday. Don't leave us. All right. Come back and see us. We'll be here 9:30 p.m. Eastern next Wednesday. Navosky said it. Miami Mike ain't never scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're
we're
still
out
going to
here.
lose. So come see me with the badge next week. We appreciate it.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Appreciate everybody watching. Thank you again, and we will see you next week. Good luck this week, Scott.